In this video, we're going to go over the one thing you need to memorize to be able to figure out, given the name of any natural minor key, every single note that is in that key. Let's talk about it. So the one thing that you need to memorize to be able to figure out every single note given any natural minor key is simply just whole, half, whole, half, whole. And that formula is simply just the different steps we have from one note to the other. So if you don't know, a half step is just going from one note to the very next note. So think on a guitar, if you are on a certain string and then you go up by one fret, that would be a semitone, which is otherwise known as a half step. And then a whole step is simply two half steps. So it would be going up 2 frets on the guitar. So given any natural minor key, all you have to do is utilize this formula and you can figure out every single note that is in that key. So let's just take A minor, for example. First, we have a whole step, so we go over A sharp and go to B. Then we have a half step, so we go from B to C. Then we have another whole step, so we go from C over C sharp to D. And then we have another whole step, so we go over D sharp to E. And then we have another half step, which goes from E to F because there is no E sharp, right? E sharp technically would be F. And then we have another whole step, so we go over F sharp to G, and then we have another whole step to take us back to A, so we're going over G sharp to A. And this will work on any minor key. As long as you know the name, all you have to do is start with the note that is the name of the key. So take, for example, B natural minor, and then if you apply the same exact formula and just figure out all the notes with the whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, you can figure out all of the different notes for every single natural minor key. Now, to be clear, I think at the end of the day, our goal should be to just memorize every natural minor key and every major key as well. I'd even say going steps farther and really memorizing as much as we can when it comes to maybe even something like C Phrygian, just instantly knowing all the notes we have. Phrygian is a mode if you don't know. But it's really, really important to eventually memorize those just for speed's sake, to be able to instantly know all the notes and not have to take the time to refigure it out. But this is a great way to start. That way we can at least take the 5-10 seconds to figure out, okay, those are the notes that I have in this key. And in case we end up having our memories fail us, even after we memorize all the different keys, this is a great fallback, just like the circle of fifths can be a great fallback as well. This is a great tool so that no matter what, as long as we have this one thing memorized, we are always equipped to figure out all the different notes in a natural minor key. So hopefully this was helpful to you. And if it was, something else you'll probably find helpful is my free guide on the 4 pillars of music theory that I think every single songwriter needs to know. There's a lot of really bad information out there about how music theory isn't necessary, or you don't really need music theory at all. As a songwriter, it's not practical, it's academic knowledge, whatever that means. But that is just a load of crap. It's not true at all. The only people that would say that music theory isn't helpful with their songwriting is people who have never learned music theory. Anyone who knows music theory as a songwriter knows that it makes you infinitely more efficient with your music writing and is super, super helpful. It allows you to actually know what you're doing and be knowledgeable about it rather than just taking random guesses all the time. And then some people fear that it will take the creativity away, which is just a load of garbage as well. Of course, you can still be creative. Just understanding the rules allows you to be intentional about breaking them later. If you don't even know the rules, then it's really hard to play the game. So in the same way, it's really important to understand the fundamentals of music theory. And I think these 4 pillars are absolutely the most fundamental things that you need to know as a songwriter about music theory. And those things are intervals, which really is at the heart of most of the rest of music theory that is really helpful. And then from there, keys, which we just talked about a little bit in this video, but it dives a lot deeper into keys. And then chords and chord progressions. If you understand those 4 things, that will take you about 80% of the way there. It'll make you so much more efficient. It will allow you to improvise for a long period of time without really making any mistakes or making things that sound bad. You can just sit and improvise if you understand keys and chords for hours and make it sound good, because you know that within the context of the key you're playing in, you know what notes you have and you know what chords you have, and you know what the job of each of those chords are. So it's really easy to just sort of make music on the fly that sounds pretty good, which is something that's basically impossible if you don't understand keys and chords and chord progressions. So be sure to check that out. Link in the description down below if you want to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll talk to you in the next one.